Hi, so this is Indigo, and this video is going to be a little bit different from the recent videos on this channel. I know I've been talking a lot about just the world and my response to things in it lately, and this is going more to a previous video I had done on just different kinds of beauty devices and stuff like that. So this is a very spontaneous, I just came out of a Zoom, and so while I had the camera still up and everything, the microphone and everything, I decided to just do this because right before that, starting right after breakfast and finishing at that lunchtime meeting, I decided to keratin my hair. So this is what I use. This is this ANSWR. Here's the little bottle that goes in this. And yeah, so this is what my hair looks like. I haven't really had a chance to do much playing around with it because I finished and then I had just 15 minutes before I had to get into this meeting and everything. So but yeah, there's not much to it. I started at 9:30 and I was finished by 12:45. So what, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Now you may think if you normally flat iron your hair, you may be like, well, I mean, Indigo, that ain't much. You aren't doing much there. Yeah, I know. My hair does not flat iron. I do not get silk press. I get, straighter hair when I flat iron and what have you. But yeah, my hair doesn't do that. I have very, very, very cottony hair. And I'm type 4, but in terms of 4, I'm not all 4C or 4Z or whatever. I'm 4A, 4B, 4C, I'm, 4s all over the place. The main thing actually is just that my hair is cottony. In fact, I didn't do a video of my hair before I did this, but I think I did take a picture. So if I can find a picture that I think I took yesterday of what my hair looked like, just in big twists. So just a little bit stretched and in big twists. I think I'll put that in here so you can see the difference. My hair is just poofy, right? And so even with a silk press, even after having applied keratin, my hair is still a little stiff and a little thick, okay? That's just my hair. Has never been any silkier, flowier than that. Okay, so for me, this is really good, and it was really easy. This was a very easy treatment. All that I needed, I did put on a little cape thing and gloves, and I did actually wind up putting some Vaseline on my face because at first when I was spritzing it, some of it was getting on my ears and here, and it stung. So I had to go get the cleansers and cleanse that off and then put some petroleum jelly on my face and around my ears and neck and everything, and then wear the gloves. It didn't sting my scalp any. I don't know, maybe my scalp is more accustomed to being exposed to things. I do use tretinoin. I did use that last night, so maybe my skin was just a little more sensitive than my scalp would be. I don't know. All I know is glad I had the gloves. And then, yeah, so I just basically all you do is you wash your hair. So you clarify your hair and then blow dry it without putting any product on. So just clean, dry hair. Then you kind of soak it in this. Try to use the whole bottle. I didn't actually quite use the whole bottle, but I used almost all the bottle. I used as much as I could stand. I was just done and I worked it all in, and that took maybe 10, 15 minutes just to, apply this throughout my hair. Then I let it sit for an hour. And just out, not in anything, not really twisted up. I did really big loose twists just to kind of keep it from, just shrinking up into one great big helmet on my head the way my hair wants to do when I sit for an hour after wetting it. But that was all. And then I rinsed it out, just rinsed it with warm water for about maybe 5 minutes to really feel like I had definitely gotten it off my scalp. Because I definitely, after the experience of what it felt like on my ears and neck, I definitely did not want it staying on my scalp for a week until I shampoo my hair next. So then I got out and I did the Revair again to blow dry it. It was really quick though. You know, one thing I discovered is doing the Revair without having first put a heat protectant or leave-in conditioner on my hair, instead of being like 60 to 65 seconds per section, and I tend to do 12 sections, so I do 4 sections and then I do 3 within each one. But instead of letting it be 12 to 15 minutes, keeping it more like somewhere between, you know, 7 to 10 minutes for my whole head, it works when you don't have anything else on. I only need it to do about 40 seconds to as little as 30 seconds at the front sections here, to get it to be dry. So, you know, dry at the root. So I was really happy with that. And then once it was blow dried the second time, then came the flat ironing. And they say on here to do it at 200 degrees Celsius, which would be 398 Fahrenheit. But it was easier on my T3 Lucia, which is the flat iron that I have, to just go ahead and go up to the top one, which is 410. So I did 410. I think a lot of people do 450 Fahrenheit when they do even this same one. So I think I was fine at 410 instead of 398. I mean, it's not like, I mean, come on. It's not like my hair has been over straightened, right? I mean, it's still pretty rough and stiff. And that, again, that is just my hair. But again, I'll give you just like one more time, just like looking at the back here. Now, it is possible that because there is still a fair amount of the keratin probably on my hair, it is possible that actually after I wash it next and, you know, shampoo it and condition it, and then if I do decide to do a flat iron again next time, it actually would be interesting to see if it actually does come out a bit silkier. So still straighter like this, which is straighter than, again, my hair is very cottony. So it doesn't tend to really straighten, right? It certainly never gets silky straight, but it'll be interesting to see what it's like. So yeah, I will add to this video. I won't upload this. I will add to this video the next time I wash my hair, and maybe I will just like go ahead and flat iron it then, even though normally I'm not going to. Normally I'm just going to Revair my hair the way that I always have, but I'm just thinking that it'll just be easier to manage and everything like that, having the keratin in. And actually I did a henna treatment last week. So last week I did the henna treatment, which hopefully strengthened my hair, and then this week I'm doing the keratin, and then next week I'll just be back to my normal routine. All right, so I will add to this video then. Bye for now. Okay, so this is a couple weeks later when I finally have washed my hair. I was going to do it a little bit sooner, but I just kind of ran out of time with the holidays and things like that. So I finally did it today, and right now I have K18 in it. So it's still in the 4 minutes of the K18. Oh, well, there goes my alarm telling me there is the 4 minutes with the K18 right there. So I'm going to deep condition soon, but I just want to show you what my hair looks like, you know, just washed and with the K18 in it for 4 minutes. So I know I didn't show my hair before I did the keratin treatment, so you don't really know what my hair looks like and it's just washed state, but how you see it kind of down here, like how it's very cottony, it's actually, you know, it's really soft. My hair is really cottony, and so I never have been able to really get a wash and go because this really is my curl pattern. Now here, this is a little bit straighter than normal. So I think, and I knew when I was doing it, I think I did too many passes with the heat just on this one section here, and the same thing on the other side. My hair at the top is more like 4A, whereas the rest of my hair is a combo of 4B and 4C and other 4s that aren't really delineated. So I'm going to also show the back on this side just so that you can kind of see. And again, my back curl pattern is normally a little bit tighter, which it still it still is. I know this isn't the best camera. This is just my regular laptop camera. But again, I normally have just frizzy hair. I don't really have ever defined curls, which is why I've never been able to really do wash and goes. But yeah, this is pretty much preserved. I still feel this unbelievable thickness right in here that I can't even get my fingers through, which is how much my hair shrinks up. Now it is a little bit, you know, here towards the ends, it is a little bit looser than it normally is, like, you know, where I'm getting a little bit of hang, and I normally don't get that. But the real test will be when I blow dry it. Because I'll show you a blowout, like, you know, up here somewhere on the screen. I'll put one of my previous blowouts. Actually, I'll put a silk press. I don't think I have any pictures of me just in a blowout. I will put a picture of me in a previous silk press, but you will think you are looking at a picture of a blowout. And then I'll do a blowout today and show you what my blowout looks like now, post-keratin. And I suspect, here's my expectation, that my blowout now is going to look like how my silk press used to look before, but we'll see. So I will be back once I get to that point. Hi, so I am going to have this final little segment here. So here's my blowout after having done the keratin. Again, you know, it's hard to really compare, but like, I know that this is like how a silk press usually is for me, like the next day. And when I first do a silk press, it's a little bit straighter than this, but definitely like the next day, this is what a silk press is like for me. So yeah, keratin treatment definitely is going to be a keeper. Definitely is something I'm going to do every 3 or 4 months. Just made everything easier. Also, the dry time was much quicker than normal. It took me only about 12 minutes for my entire head using the Revair, whereas normally it took more, like somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes. By the way, I figured I should tell you, I was also testing out a couple of products today. So I did this Miche Beauty Indulge on the left side over here today. And I did this TGIN Miracle Repair Deep Hydrating Mask. I did that on this right side today. So I don't know that I can tell so much the difference right now. I think when I was putting them on, I really noticed the difference. Like the Miche was just like a lot thicker. And so I had to really, really work it in. Whereas the TGIN, this just like melted into my hair. Like I could hardly even tell where I had put it. By the time I had just started stopped distributing it, it was like gone. But now later, yeah, I think I would still say, let me see. Yeah, I think despite this one costing a lot more, and I haven't gotten a lot more of it, I got the big tub because I had to order it online. So I figured, just in case I liked it, I didn't want to have to pay for shipping again. And I do like it enough to use it. I think that this may be the one that I wind up putting a little amla and what's the snail mucin in, maybe put a little of that in this to make it just a little more softening. Yeah, I might do that with this one, and there's a lot of it, so I don't mind like watering it down with something else. Whereas this one, it seems like kind of like as it is. This is definitely softer. There's no doubt about it. This is softer. Now I'm not sure which one. I'm moving my head a little bit, so I'm not sure which one moves more. You may be able to tell right now more than I can. I haven't done that in front of the mirror yet. Basically, all I did was blow my hair out with the Revair, and then just comb it out a little. Also, in terms of leave-ins, I used just this really light leave-in conditioner. It's the Amika Hydro Rush Intense Moisture leave-in conditioner. So I put this on all of it. So this isn't really a test. I just did it over my entire head. And for the heat protectant, I did this Olaplex number 9 Bond Protector Nourishing Hair Serum. I did quite a few pumps of this. Like this, you're just kind of, it's a spray in, leave in. So the saturation level for that, you just get it so that it absorbs into the hair. This, I think I put 5 pumps on each side of my head, so 10 altogether. I think if I did it again, I'd probably just do 4 pumps on each side of my head, basically two pumps per quadrant. When I do So this is how I actually wear my hair most of the time. When I normally do the when I do the K18, I do just one pump per section. So you do only 4 pumps of K18 for my whole head, by the way. Just so you know, it's a treatment, not a leave-in conditioner. This is the leave-in conditioner. Okay, so hopefully this has been useful to you. Again, between the different pictures that I've left and showing you what it was like after the silk press, right after I did the keratin, and now what it's like the first blowout after washing it the first time, and doing again a little K18 to strengthen bonds that might have been broken not by the keratin but by my silk pressing, and then also just normally doing deep conditioning, which is something I always do. I deep condition on every wash, so I did that. I just happened to test 2 products this time. I think the next time I wash my hair is going to be the TGIN against the Miel Sea Moss hydrating mask. I'm going to see which one of these is more hydrating, because they both promise to be hydrating, whereas this Indulge says is moisturizing, but it doesn't say hydrating. And there's a difference between moisturizing and hydrating, right? So hydrating is more deeply penetrating and of the moisture, whereas, moisturizing is like, more on top. And yeah, that is what my result has been like. So I'm going to try a hydrator against a hydrator. I also ordered recently, I haven't received it yet. Black Friday was just yesterday. And so I just ordered, what is it? Amika's, the deep conditioner that goes with this line. Basically, I ordered the deep conditioner, which is also supposed to be hydrating. So the winner of this against the Miel Sea Moss hydrating conditioner, deep conditioner, will go up against that Amika hydrating deep conditioner. And then I'll kind of have my probably set deep conditioner. Like I already have my one for protein. So I'm just looking for my hydrating one. So that's it. Hopefully this has been useful to you if you've been considering doing a keratin. If you have any questions, just ask them in the comments below. I will note that I will link to Savvy's channel and her video, which was what I used that made me decide to do this at all. And with her, you can see the process. You can see her actually applying it. Again, I'm not set up. I don't normally do anything related to hair. I have no setup for that. That wasn't going to work. But hopefully just showing you some of the comparisons to some before and after pictures and things like that is useful, and just explaining, what it's been like for me. And you're being able to see that I don't have any, heat damage, but I do have a loosened texture that just dries more quickly and gets a little bit straighter with less heat. Basically, that's been the result for me. Hi again. So I decided to actually add just a little bit more on to actually show you what the finished style looks like after having done the keratin. Since I realized just like showing a blowout, especially when I haven't had a trim, probably doesn't really like fully convey how much improved the just texture and styling ability and manageability and everything is of my hair, even though I can still absolutely hold curls. So I'm going to just start taking out this Bantu knot that I put in yesterday. And I'm just going to take this loose, take off this little binder, put a little oil on my fingers while I take the actual twist loose. Okay. So this, you might remember, this was the area that was like the most like I did a little too much with the heat on it. And as you can see, it still is able to hold a curl, and it still had fairly much its natural 4A pattern, even before I did the blowout part. I will just go ahead and do all of these, and then I'll come back on and just show you kind of what the finished look is. But yeah, basically I am really liking this. I have, since I recorded the last segment, and since I put these Bantu knots in, learned that
Actually, the keratin treatment is really reactivated by heat, and the heat of the blow dryer isn't really enough to really activate it. So, by the way, I have to tell you that TGIN deep conditioner smells really, really, really good. And the Mish Beauty one also smelled really good, actually. They both smelled really good. But right now, I'm just like really noticing the smell the from the TGIN one, and really liking that. Anyway, I just lost place where it was. uh, so yeah, like I said, I'll be back on after I finish taking the rest of these out. Okay. So I'm back, and yeah, so I just did a little more with it, just change the part. So that's not just the center part, and kind of mixed it in together a little bit, kind of try to get the roots. So anyway, yeah, I do think that having done the keratin was a really, really good idea. Just the ease of being able to, in maybe 12 minutes with the Revair, get a blowout after I washed it this time. And then I used this Mish set mousse to put in those Bantu knots that you saw, and left it in there overnight. And now it's actually about noon the next day. Oh, actually, I did go under the hooded dryer for about 20, somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes when I first put the mousse in. Just in general, if I use a mousse, I always put a little heat with it, because I find that any mousse does better with a little heat, at least at first, and then I just let it dry the rest of the way. But you see, these are pretty tight curls. I'll be perfectly happy to have these fall a little bit over the coming week. Before I wash it again. I think the next time I am going to go ahead and do a silk press, just so that I can see like how they say that it really takes the heat of the flat iron, not just the blow dryer, to really reactivate the keratin. So I already automatically saw where it had just like loosened my curl pattern a little bit, but kept the same basic frizzy hair pattern that I have, but just made it like not as dense. And now that it's blown out, I see there's really no difference at this point. This is pretty much how a Bantu knot out on blown out hair has always been like for me. This is what it's like. The only thing that's really different is just how much effort and time it took to get to this. That's the only thing that's different. So I think that as I style my hair in different ways, it will continue to just be easier to style. But when I go for a straight style, if I do go for an absolute silk press finish, I am confident that I'll finally be able to get more of a real silk press look, which, as you can see from the pictures I showed, I don't normally get. Now, one other question I realize I didn't answer that you might have is about formaldehyde or any kind of toxic chemicals with any of it. No, really not. I did it inside in the cool of fall, where I had to have the house closed because it was cold outside, and there were no fumes. I mean, I had the bathroom fan on, but yeah, there weren't really fumes. There was very little smell. I mean, it does have some scent to it, but not much, not anything really noticeable. And definitely after I rinsed it out and then went to flat iron it, there's a little bit, like I could smell a little something as I was flat ironing it. And I do think that that is where the release happens. Like, it's where you activate the keratin product, is when you flat iron it. But it still was just like the mildest thing. And I did have the bathroom fan on, and that was plenty. I didn't cough, choke, stinging, nothing like what formaldehyde would cause, which is what is in some keratin products. So yeah, this one, the ANSWR one. Oh, by the way, it used to be called Oh Wow also. So I just wanted to note that too. I don't know what other things I may have forgotten, but put in the comments if you have other questions about what this was like, or in anything related to doing the keratin, and I'm happy to answer, but like I said, I'm going to give you a link to someone who shows like actually doing it. But again, the summary of the process is you wash your hair, dry your hair, whether you blow dry it or let it dry overnight, however you want to dry your hair. Then apply the ANSWR treatment to clean, dry hair. Leave it on for like an hour. Rinse it out. Don't shampoo it out. Don't co-wash it out. Don't anything. Just water. Rinse it out. Then dry your hair again. However you dry your hair, you probably want to blow dry it this time just to kind of get on with it. And then flat iron it. You know, they say to do it on 200 Celsius, which is 398 Fahrenheit. Judge by your hair what temperature you should use. I know one thing, when I go to flat, by the way, it's like incredibly soft. Like I would say that is the one difference. Like you can't tell this difference. Like how this looks is how a Bantu Knotout looks on blown out hair for me. But actually it is softer. And I know that when I had first washed it, I had said how this side where I had used the TGIN was softer than this side where I'd used the Mish Beauty Indulge. And now I can't tell. Now it's imperceptible. Now that it's, you know, styled and yeah, now that it's styled, it all just feels really, really soft and fluffy and, you know, nice movement. Oh, that smell. I think part of it is also the smell of this. Probably I'm smelling this even more than the deep conditioners that I used, because this also, just the Mish Beauty products all smell really good. And I really, really like this particular gel to foam styling mousse. It's not as moussey as some things. It's not as thick and rich as some things. You can tell it really is going gel to foam, not mousse, like foam. Yeah, that's actually, they've named it perfectly now that I think about it. It is more like a foam texture than a dense mousse texture, but it works great and it smells great. That's the main thing about it. That's the only product I put in since the previous products that I showed you. So, you know, you saw I used a really light leave-in conditioner, that Amika Hydro Rush, and then just the heat protectant of the Olaplex #9. And then the only thing I used after that you didn't see is when I did the Bantu knot, I did like 2 pumps of that per knot, and I did like 9 knots, so like 18 pumps of that. And that was pretty much it. Okay. Last thing I'm going to say before I peace out, I'm not going to make this even longer by coming back next week after I've actually done a silk press. I'm just going to go ahead and end this video right here because it's already a little longer than I wanted it to be. But I will say one last thing, and that is that the purpose of this channel is to show you how miraculous life can be. So while this video is just kind of like a fun little thing I did, like while I was doing this on 4ABC hair, type 4 hair, where all the other videos that I've seen on it have all been with people with type 2 or 3 hair. So I just wanted to just do that. But really the purpose of this channel is to share with you the miraculous stories in the Miraculous Stories playlist. So if you haven't checked that out, I'm going to leave it at the end of this video so that you can find your way to that. Please watch at least one of those. If you found any value in this video, of course, please like it so that more people with type 4 hair will see it. So please do that, or share it even if you like, subscribe if you want to hear or see more. But really, if you've appreciated this at all, the greatest thanks that you could give to me is allowing yourself to be blessed by watching some of the videos in that Miraculous Stories playlist as my gift to you, because I want you to know just how blessed you are meant to be, just how blessed life can be, just how much your life can truly move from miracle to miracle, and that can be the story of your life. It can be that way, and I want to show you how. And that's what that is really all about. That's what this channel is really all about. Okay. All right, sis. You take care. All right. Bye for now.